Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome back to the channel and for the April movie / Blu-ray update. Yes, it's been a month since the last one. Not quite as many movies this month. I was saving quite a bit this month because there was Wales Comic Con happening near me, which I did attend to, and it was brilliant. So not quite as many movies as there would be typically, but there's still some cool ones within there. So with all that out of the way, let's just jump into it. First off, this came out I believe in the 1st of April. I believe this came out right at the very beginning of the month. The WreckIt Ralph 1 and 2 collection. I've not seen either of these movies yet. I missed out on WreckIt Ralph 2 when it was out in theaters, and I didn't get the chance to see it, but I've not seen the first one either, so I guess it works out pretty well. So these are obviously like modern Disney classic animation movies, and like I say, I've not seen either of them, but I definitely think I will enjoy them. They definitely seem like my kind of movies. The animation style is very good, obviously kind of based on video games. The second one obviously taking the internet, so I think there's definitely some cool ideas going on here. So I definitely like the interest of these movies. I'm definitely interested to check them out. I will get around to them eventually, so I was happy that I now own them on Blu-ray so I can watch them whenever I want. Next up, we have a movie that I watched fairly recently, absolutely fell in love with, and I've wanted to watch it for a long time, and I knew I'd love it, and I absolutely did, and when I saw this, I had to get it on Blu-ray, especially with this limited edition, and that is KickAss. This is written and directed by Matthew Vaughn, who's one of my favourite directors. He's the director of the Kingsman films. He also directed X-Men First Class, which is, in my opinion, the best X-Men movie. So, you know, I knew I was gonna love KickAss, and I absolutely did. Like, this movie's amazing. And look at this slipcover, man. That's just look at that. That is beautiful. It really is beautiful. I loved everything about this movie. The cast, the villain, like Nick Cage is brilliant in this movie. You know, kind of like the low budget superhero action. I just really enjoyed all of that. It was a really funny movie. The cast is fantastic. The script is stellar. I really enjoyed KickAss. I knew I would love it, and yeah, I just had to get it on Blu-ray, especially when I saw the slipcover. How could I not pick that up? And then, in direct response to that, we also have KickAss 2. Now, I've not actually seen KickAss 2 yet. I've heard pretty mixed things about KickAss 2 over the years. I've heard some pretty mixed to underwhelming to disappointing kind of things about this movie. But to be honest, I have a feeling I will enjoy it. I feel like I'm going to get a kick out of it. No pun intended. Literally just because it is the sequel to KickAss, which is a movie, like I said, I really enjoyed. So I'm excited to check this one out. We do have a new villain in this one. Jim Carrey's in this one. So I am definitely excited to see where they take the story, where they're going to go with this. And like I said, I think I will enjoy this movie regardless. So I'm definitely excited to pick this one up and just give this a watch eventually. I know it's on Netflix as well, so Netflix here in the UK. So if you want to go check it out on Netflix, you can do. But like I said, I thought it'd be best if I just get the Blu-ray alongside KickAss 1. Now, a movie that came out recently that I didn't actually get the chance to review was Hellboy. But before I actually went to see Hellboy, the 2019 reboot, I did pick up the original Hellboy on Blu-ray. You could get this in HMV for £5, which was like a ridiculous deal, so I thought I had to pick it up. So I thought I'd pick this up before I saw the sequel. I still have not seen this movie, but I have seen Hellboy. If you're wondering about my opinions on the 2019 Hellboy, I thought it was absolutely dreadful. One of the worst movies I've seen in a long time. I hated it. I've only just about recovered from it. If you saw me on Twitter, you knew I ranted about it quite a lot. I hated it, and that's probably why I didn't review it. I just didn't have the energy to talk about the movie, because it drained me to no end. But I'm not going to, put any of that judgment onto this Hellboy. Obviously, this movie is quite a big fan favourite. A lot of people really like this movie, so I'm definitely going to check this out eventually. I just think I needed some kind of time away from the Hellboy franchise and the Hellboy name, just kind of cleanse myself a little bit after the disaster that was the 2019 Hellboy. Yeah, I hated it. And then a movie that I actually rediscovered on Netflix recently, and I was just like, I forgot how much I love this movie. The Social Network. This is such a brilliant film. It's so intelligently written. It's so well entertaining. Like, for a movie that is basically just dialogue, it's so entertaining. And that mostly comes down to Aaron Sorkin, who wrote the movie. I will watch anything he writes. Like, it's so well put together. I love, I think that Mark Zuckerberg, is perfectly cast in this movie with Jesse Eisenberg. He's so good at kind of playing an arsehole, and it works brilliantly. Andrew Garfield's great in this movie. Armie Hammer playing twins is just an incredible, incredible thing. I got this movie incredibly cheap on eBay, brand new, and, look at the quality of it. It is brand new. It's great. And with a slipcover as well, which is always nice. So I really, really enjoyed The Social Network. Just rewatching it again recently. I knew I had to get it in the Blu-ray collection, so here it is. And I love this movie. It's a great one. If you have not seen this, you should definitely check it out. And then also a very classic movie that I wanted to pick up, just because I kind of want to rewatch all these movies before the new one comes out at the end of the year. That is the Terminator. Now, I do own Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I didn't own the first one, so I need to pick up this, and then I will go and pick up Rise of the Machines and Salvation and Genesis once I get around to them, because we do have Terminator Dark Fate coming out in November of this year. But for the original Terminator, I haven't actually seen these movies, so, you know, again, they're just kind of like adding more to the pile of movies I need to see. So there they are. And then these last two, we have Steelbooks, we have Aquaman. Now, obviously, I have very mixed opinions on Aquaman. I don't still quite know how I feel about it. First time I watched it, I hated it. Second time, I thought it was kind of fun. So I don't really know how I feel about this. I'll have to make a kind of firm and final decision after I watch this movie on 4K. Yeah, this is a nice Steelbook, though. I do like the Steelbook. It is really nice. I have to say, though, I'm kind of going off Steelbooks as of late. I'm starting to realise that in my overall Blu-ray collection, they just kind of stand out a bit and they don't look quite as good. So you might start seeing less Steelbooks in these videos. But as far as Aquaman goes, this is a nice one. And yeah, I'm definitely interested to see this movie again. It's quite a long movie, so I'm just trying to find the time to watch it. It's definitely an interesting one, so I'm just excited to see kind of where my opinion falls after the third viewing. And the final one, we have another Steelbook here, and that is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, one of the best films of last year. This is one of the best animated films I've seen in quite some time. It's just such... The animation style is revolutionary. It's like this incredible mix between 2D and 3D animation. The cast is fantastic. The humor's great. The vibe is fantastic. The music is euphoric. All these different elements mixing together to make this movie, and it was absolutely fantastic all the way through. I'm actually watching this movie again tonight as I'm recording this video. I'm going to go stick this video up and then I'm going to go watch this movie because it's just brilliant. It's one of those films that you can just sit back and relax with, but also it's just incredibly emotional. It's incredibly well written. It's very well acted and voiced by all of its cast members. And like I say, particularly the soundtrack. The soundtrack is fantastic. It's become my instant workout soundtrack. I love it so much. And again, this is a great Steelbook. Even though I probably would have rather just had the regular 4K for this, the Steelbook is really, really nice. And I'm just excited to see where this movie, you know, how I feel coming out of this. And I want to watch the special features of this too. So that is everything I picked up in the month of April. Again, like I said, not as many this time, just because I did have other things going on this month that I needed to save up for a little bit, so I had to be a bit more careful with where I spent my money. But outside of all of that, I hope you guys did enjoy the collection. Make sure you share what you picked up in the month of April, and as always, I hope to see you guys again in my next video.